A little girl. Yes, a little girl. So that just shows you little children are not incapable. They can do things. And the little girl said, hey, she told her master who was in charge of her when she found out that name was things. She said, I think I know somebody who can heal you. So that child probably would have known something about hydrotherapy from her culture back when what Elijah used to do, right? And Naaman's servants entreated him to carry out Elijah's directions when he said to go into that dirty Jordan River and duck himself down. How many times? 7 times, right? And his servant, when Elijah had told him to go and duck himself down water 7 times, he didn't want to do it because that's busy water. But when his servant said, I mean, he urged him and he said, would thou not have done it if it were clean water? What's the difference? Would thou not have done it if Elijah came out and told you himself? Because Elijah didn't go and tell himself, he sent his servant to do it. But he did it. He went into the water, he dug himself down. By the 6th time, he saw no change. By the 7th time, he did see a change. He did see a change. And that was hydrotherapy. As a form of hydrotherapy, anything you do with water for healing is hydrotherapy, right? So that was one form. Here was another form of natural remedy in the Bible.
It was when Jesus put mud on the person's eye and he got healed. From mud. That blindness.
He was blind. That was another one. And this is it here. It says, when he had thus spoken, he spat on the ground, this is Jesus, and made clay of the spittle, and he anointed his eyes of a blind man with clay, and said unto him, go wash away, therefore, and washed and came seeing. So that was a form of natural remedy. What is the type of clay we use these days? Anybody can tell me? Bentonite clay. And people still put it on their eyes to this day for healing of their eyes. So that's in the Bible, but it's used to this day, but people don't know about it. Why don't we know about it? Why don't our children know about it? So it's our responsibility if we didn't learn about it, because I can tell you, I didn't know about it. I had to learn about it, and I learned about it probably within the last 3 to 4 years. I started to really learn. I remember the bush medicines my grandma used to give me, some of them. But a lot of these things I didn't know. But it's our responsibility as parents, as we learn about true education, to not just learn and keep it in there, but to teach our children how to do it. And I have with me some books that are really great. Did it go off? Okay, I have with me some books that are really great for children. This is one. This is called Natural Healthcare for Your Child. And this is by Dr. Agatha Trash. And this is linked to the UG Pine Sanitarium where Dr. Agatha Trash used to practice. She's no longer alive. But this is a very good book because any ailment that your child would have, you go to this book, you look it up, and you see what to do naturally, right? So in our library as parents, we should have some of these right here. We should have some of these. What other ones we have at home?
We have there's one like the encyclopedia we use too.
Yeah, we have that one too. And this one here, this is a next good one, which is Simple Home Remedies. It has hydrotherapy and different things in it too. It's a very good one. We have some of them up on the table in the back there. And this whole book here is based on hydrotherapy. Different forms of hydrotherapy, how to use it. But this one is a little bit simpler on how to do it. And now we're going to go into what is hydrotherapy, what it actually does, right? Yeah. There we go. So, Kieran, can you tell me what's happening here, Mama? Can you go and tell me what's happening?
When you put cold on your body, your blood vessels close, and when you put heat on your body, your blood vessels open.
That's basics. This is basics of hydrotherapy. So that means that when you do hot and cold, remember we were talking about when you take a bath and you hit yourself with some real hot water, and then you hit yourself with some cold water. That's what's happening to your blood vessels. They constricting and they expanding, constricting and expanding. And what does that cause? You remember the word for that? What does that cause? What's happening in the body?
Circulation.
Good job. So you see, circulation. That causes circulation in the body. And what that does, when you get that type of circulation in your body, it's bringing in healing. It's bringing in healing. I remember there was one time my little son, he was playing. Boys, you know, they just playing. And there was this stick pointing out to the ground, and he was just being a little boy playing, and the stick poke him in his eye. Yeah, it was a bit traumatic for me. Yeah. But it kind of just went like this, and it didn't really get him in the eye, but we didn't know how bad it really was. And we were told to do hydrotherapy on him. And it really, really helped. So as we go along, I'll bring back up that example to explain to you how it works, right? So this is definitely a class that you want to pay attention to. Don't fall asleep after lunch. Pay attention because this is really good information here. And over here we have a quote saying perfect health depends upon perfect circulation. You know, there are many people who don't have good circulation. Are you aware of that? Right. And simple hydrotherapy can help with that. There are many, many people who don't have good circulation. And that's just the world we live in right now, because sometimes we don't walk around enough. We have heart disease, all sorts of different things that cause this, right? So let's see what we can do to help us with hydrotherapy here. So the benefit of hydrotherapy is that it eliminates toxins by increasing body metabolism. And it's also inexpensive and it's readily available. Kiri, do we pay for water?
Yes.
No, but not in the sense that, oh, okay. Not in the sense that you're paying for every single cup that you drink, right? Like one day a man went to the Jordan River. Was that free? Or was that was free, right? Water depending on the rain. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. And from springs, yes, and from rivers, those things are free. But yes, in your house you do pay for water, but is it expensive? No, is it expensive? If you do pay for it, it's not expensive. When you go to the doctor, how much you pay? Right. Which one you want to do? Water or go to the doctor? Water. Right. So there you go. That's a simple explanation there, right? And it's easily applied to the skin. I mean, you take a bath every day, right? It's not like you're afraid of water. And it also cooperates with nature and healing. And it's in abundance. It's not like we're in a drought and we don't see water all the time. We have water. We have water. And it's so, does water differentiate between the rich and the poor? No, it doesn't. So anybody has access to it, right? Now we're going to do a contrast bath. We're going to talk about what a contrast shower or contrast bath is. Remember, we just talked about that shower that you take, right? And our first treatment today, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to actually show how to do one. And what does it do? A contrast bath, it helps fight infection and it helps our muscle or joints with when we have injuries. It helps with arthritis, headaches, edema. It helps strengthen the immune system. A lot of people know it for that one, to strengthen the immune system. They say whenever you feel sick, make sure you put your shower on real hot. And after you do about 3 minutes of that, then put it on real cold. And you get a hot and cold contrast. And you do, we'll go into timings and so forth here, right? So here we have this chart. Part of my chart is not showing. I'm not sure why. But over here, it says, first you start off with the warm water here. And the warm water that you're starting off with, is there a way that I can get this to show? Because I need to show it. Which is well, at least you can see the basics that I was trying to show here, okay? So warm water, when you start on hot, right? So it says you start in at 50 degrees C, and then you do 3 minutes. So hot is always like 3 minutes, right? And then you go cold, and the cold is at around 24. Oops, sorry, I have Fahrenheit and C there, I should have changed that. But I was trying to do in C there. And the idea you're going for, you're doing 3 minutes hot, 30 seconds cold. 3 minutes hot, 30 seconds cold, right? That's how you're gonna do it. And when you do that, each time you do an exchange, you're gonna go hotter and you're gonna go colder. That's the key behind it. Each time you're gonna increase in your hotness and in your coldness, right? That's how you do a contrast bath here. And here is a contrast bath good for you?
Yes.
Yeah? You like it hot and cold?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
I do it 30 seconds cold and 3 minutes.
Right, good job, good job. And as I said, it will strengthen your immune system, right? Now, contrast baths are great, but there are some restrictions to it, right? There are some people who can't do contrast baths, and who are those? So you don't want to use a contrast bath on anybody who is a diabetic or anybody who has a tendency to hemorrhage, because you remember this is circulation here, right? And if they're hemorrhaging, that's going to cause a problem. Or impaired feeling, also known as neuropathy, right? Anybody with these kind of things, you don't want to do a contrast bath on them. So don't think that it's all, anybody can do it. No, it's not anybody. But you don't have these ailments, it's a good way to strengthen your immune system. Yeah, and children are going to do it right now. So we're going to do a contrast bath. How can we do this? So let's see. I wanted to use a little child like Kire size, but Adasa, you're a little bit tall, huh? So how can we do this without wasting out too much of our water at home, right? So, do we have another child about Kire's height? Any child from Kire's height? Kayla, I'm gonna borrow you some. Come. I'm gonna borrow, and then I'm gonna show you Kire too. So Caleb, he's 4, and Kire, she's 7. But I want to show you something. Where you go in one and Kila, you go in one. Just go sit in. Go sit in. I just want to show you this, okay? Here we go flat down inside, flat down inside. Right. And inside. Good. So as you can see, a 7-year-old, she would probably fit better in the green one, and he would probably fit better in this one. But these kind of containers fit little children very well, don't you think? Right. So you don't need to say, boy, I need to know my water in my tub, or I don't even have a tub, because how many of us in Trinidad have tubs? Not many, right? So if you don't have a tub, you can use one of these. Right. So y'all can come out to there now. And you can see here we have, okay, let me stay right there, son. Okay. We have hot and we have cold. So as we were talking about just now, we were talking about hot and cold. Now, Kire, I want to ask you, what is an exchange? Can you show me an exchange? What's the example of exchange here?
You don't have to like 1, 2, 3. You have to do it 3 in space. You do it one hot, one cold. That's one exchange. You do one hot, one cold. That's 2 exchange. If you do one hot, one cold, that's the 3rd exchange.
Right. So that's important to know. You're not going to say from hot to cold is from hot to cold is 2 exchange. No, hot, cold is 1 exchange. Hot, cold, and next exchange, right? That's how you count exchange. So you'll see here is recommended 3 to 7 exchanges depending on the illness that the person has, right? So, Caleb, I needed you to help me, son. Come back here. So we're gonna try to do this on Caleb. So Caleb, you're gonna go inside the hot first. This one is hot, right? So let's say we have hot water in here. Caleb is inside the hot. We're gonna count 3 minutes hot, right? And tick, 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 timer into the cold. No, he's going into the cold. We have cold water there. While he's in there, in the cold, we check in 30 seconds, okay? And while you want to have your things close by. You want to have your things close by. While he's in there, remember, we want to go hotter each time and cooler each time. I put a little bit more hot water. Here is helping me. She's pouring it around. That was 1 exchange. Now we into the 2nd exchange. When he's into the hot, I put my timer on 3 minutes. Dump some ice in there, make it colder. Now, after 3 minutes, you're gonna get out of there and come inside here, son. Right. Sit down, right? And we put the timer on 30 seconds, put some more hot inside. After 30 seconds, all right, son, come back in there. Like that. All right, put some more cold. Right? You mix it around. Huh? No? Come back in there, son. All right. How many exchanges was that?
3.
That was 3 exchanges, right? So now he's in there after the 30 seconds. All right, son, come up. All right. So that was a way that you can do it with children, right? Now let's say I had a 2-year-old, right? He's 4. So he did 3 minutes and 30 seconds. But if I had a 2-year-old, I would do 2 minutes instead of 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. But if for 3, 4, 5-year-olds, it's 3 minutes, and then after 3 minutes, it's 30 seconds, right? So you can actually start doing this bucket exchange here that we just did. You could do this with 2 years and up. So you see, it was quite easy to do, right? So Kiri, after we do, how many minutes do we do hot? How many?
3 minutes.
Caleb, how many seconds do we do cold? Good job, right? So you see, they're learning now. You're doing this with them and they're learning. So they're learning so they can do this on somebody else later on. Now, when they're doing this, what type of clothes should they wear? You can put your children, you're not going to wear this, you're not going to do this, right? You put them in their little swimsuit and you can do it like this in a swimsuit, right? And after this happens, when they're finished, you could let them, when you take them out, so I did this on Caleb. So let's say he just come out, he just did 3 exchanges. Come sit down here. Come on. Right, you sit right there. When he comes out of there, and we wrap him up. We want to keep him real warm. So I take my blanket here, and I wrap him up, and I keep him warm. And I want to keep all his extremities warm. So if he didn't have on socks, I would put on socks, keep him warm, and then I stick him in his bed to rest for about 30 to 45 minutes. So that, because this tires you out, you're going to get tired. So he will rest for 30 to 45 minutes, and that is the full hot and cold contrast hydrotherapy for children. So that wasn't too hard, right? That was simple, right? Right. So how was that, Caleb? That was good, right? Good boy. Right, so you see, this is where the child is resting. You wrap them up. Sometimes they fall asleep, sometimes they don't. If they're not asleep, you just keep them warm. Tell them to lay down with something to play with as they lay down. Yes, son, thank you for your help. You may go back to your seat now. And they just lay down for a little bit, and that's it. Now, that was one form of hydrotherapy. Now we have another form of hydrotherapy. Are we going to be doing this one? What's this one called?
Hot foot bath.
Right. Now, do we have a volunteer who would like to do this one? You want to do it, Hadassah? No, you can come up, Hadassah. So Hadassah is on 6 wisdom. We're going to do this on Hadassah, right? All right. Ready? All right, Hadassah. So to set up for this, before we set up, we're going to talk about the benefits. Hadassah, you can sit right here and wait for me, right? Because I have my volunteer ready and waiting. Right. So a hot foot bath. Here you see there's a person putting their foot in, and Hadassah, you're going to do that same thing just now, right? What does it do? The benefits. It helps fight infection. It helps headaches. It helps with menstrual cramps. It helps with poor circulation again. So you see, hydrotherapy is good for circulation, helps with nosebleeds, earaches, it detoxes, and head, chest congestion, and anxiety and nervous condition. And here, we will see there was a little child here who was willing and able to do this hot foot bath here with a smile on her face. You're going to be smiling just not like that, right? So we have to, during this process, while we're doing it, we have to keep the feet warm by consistently adding hot water. Just as we said, you're going hot on, hold on, hold up. This process, when you start, the temperature that you start at, you're going to keep increasing that temperature. Now, some little children might not like very hot, right? So you know your child, and you're going to know, like my child loves very hot. So she, so you're going to know your child, and you're going to see up to what they can handle, right? You're not going to go past what they can handle, because then they're going to be uncomfortable and then they're going to be complaining. We don't want that. We want them to enjoy this, right? So Hadassah, you're going to enjoy this, right? Right. And while we're doing it, we're going to keep the head cool. So we're going to demonstrate this now. Okay. I'm going to go on to the next slide. All right. So to set up, this is what we do. First, you put a sheet down, like this, on the chair. Right. You put a sheet down on the chair. No, you blank. Sorry, the blanket, please. Now this here is a special blanket. This is a wool blanket. But if you don't have a wool blanket, that's fine. Any kind of thick blanket you have will work. But wool is particularly nice because it doesn't really absorb that moisture. It keeps you dry when you sweat. So we put down the blanket and then we put down the sheet. And then our patient, Hadassah, let's pretend Hadassah is in a swim studio, right? Because you're not gonna do this with all this kind of clothes on. Okay, so Hadassah, you take a seat right here, right? All right. And then we're gonna need Hadassah to take off her sandal. Very good. Right. And you're gonna put your feet inside of here. Can you fit? Very good. But before you put your feet, I want you to just pull up your feet a little bit. And we're just gonna pretend, come this way. We're just gonna pretend we have some water in here. That is warm. We add some water in here. And then what we do, Kiri?
We swirl
We switch to mix, and then, you can stick your hand inside like this and feel, but your elbow is a more sensitive area. So what you'll want to do, pull up your sleeves, right? Mine can't go up all the way, so we're just going to pretend and stick your elbow inside there. And once it's not too hot, you say, okay, Hadassah, stick a toe in there. How is that? That's good? All right, so let's put our 2 feet inside. Very good. So Hadassah's feet are inside right now. We're going on to the next step. Once Hadassah is in there, I'm going to take my sheet. I'm going to wrap her up like a burrito inside here. There. And we're going to also cover our bowl at the bottom there. Let's wrap up Hadassah. Right. Right. And then after we've wrapped her here, we're going to take our blanket, we're going to wrap her up. Try and use a big blanket, right? Okay, so she's nice and wrapped, right? Now, while she's nice and wrapped here, right? Inside there is hot, she's sweating, so she's going to be hot. So while we're doing this, we're going to keep her hydrated. So pretending drinking, right? So while we're doing this process, Kira, you give her water. You will supply water to Hadassah. We keeping her hydrated because she's hot. She's hot right now, right? Very good. And every 5 minutes, we come back and say, Hadassah, how's that? You can do it a little bit more hot. Yeah. So we just raise this up again. Put them inside there. What we do here? We swoosh. We swoosh. We take our elbow. We check. Feeling? How feeling? Good. Good. Swoosh. Cover. All right. Give water. We keep it hydrated. Also, we're gonna take. You can't see it in the picture, but we're supposed to have a washcloth, a cool washcloth on her head. Lean back, Hadassah. Good. Go. And we keeping her head cool during this treatment. And Kira is going to be offering water, right? Well, actually, one person can do this, but I have to hold the mic, so it's either Kira helping me here. So, right, we're keeping her cool 5 minutes up. We put more water inside there. Raise up your toes there. Right, check, swoosh, swoosh to inside. How is it feeling? Good. So we're going to repeat this until she starts to sweat. Once she starts to sweat, you add the next 20 minutes. It usually takes maybe about 20 minutes to start to sweat. So let's say for between 45 minutes, the whole process is going to take that long. So each time we have our kettle, we add in the hot water, we're making sure it's heated. So keep burning up inside of there. It's pretty warm here. Is it warm? Just imagine if you had really hot water down there, right? Right? So So, oh, you do it with that. Oh, you know it, you do it with that. You see, look, Hadassah does it with Daddy, so she knows the process, right? So now Hadassah is ready to finish the treatment. And it says once the treatment is finished, we cool down the patient and their feet with cold water, with cold mitten friction. So we can take some cold water, we can move this out. Just open, before I open here. Here, right? We can put some cool water, dump this out, put some cool water and put cool water in her foot. Or we tell her to go and take a cool shower. That'll be much easier. So you put her in a cool shower. So she washed off, she's feeling good. Let's pretend you took a shower, right? And when you take the shower now, we're going to take the shower. Here. Good job. Okay. Right. So now she's up, she's already showered. What do we do next? We change the patient into nice, warm, dry clothing. If Hadassah had a nice sweater, you put her in her sweater, you make sure her feet is warm. Put on socks, you want to cover the extremities, right? And you let her rest, just like how we saw before. You let her rest for another 30 to 45 minutes, right? And the same thing as we said before. Thank you, Hadassah. That was awesome. You did a really good job. And the same thing that we said before, we do not use this on diabetics or people with impaired nerves, as they may not be able to tell if the water is too hot or too cold, and they can get burned. They can burn their feet because they don't know when it's too hot. And people with arteriosclerosis, which causes loss of feeling. So that was some very good examples of how we could do it on our children. And as they're growing up, then when you get sick, you can say, all right, your turn to do it on mommy. Your turn to do it on daddy. So they're learning, right? It didn't look that hard, did it? Right. So I hope that you all feel encouraged that when we're done here, you could go home and actually say, well, let's try this thing out. Right? And now we're going on to another treatment. Who can tell me what that is? Very good. Here, can you go grab the cabbage? Right. Not that one, the big one. So this is a real life Trinidad cabbage. This is what a Trinidad cabbage looks like. Looks similar to this, right? Cabbage, right? Now, there are benefits to cabbage. Let's see. What does cabbage do? Cabbage juice is loaded with nutrients such as vitamin C and K, and if you drink it, is linked to purported benefits including weight loss, improved gut health, decreased inflammation, and balanced hormones. And body detoxification. It's well known for body detoxification. Have you ever drank carrot juice? Doesn't taste that great, but it's pretty good for you. I've made it. You like to eat it raw? I like it raw too. When we eat it raw, you get all the fiber in it, right? So it has many good benefits. But cabbage, did you know that you can make a cabbage poultice? You all knew that? Let's try making it. Is there anybody here who has a pain somewhere that would like to try the cabbage poultice when we make it? Anybody? No? Yes? Where you have the pain, sister? On your foot? Perfect. That's what we're gonna do here. Great. Can you come up here so we can try it on you, please? Okay. You'll show me where on the foot, right? Below? Okay. We're gonna put a poultice on you, and you're gonna tell me how you feel probably after a while. It's gonna be hard for you to move around because it's on your foot, but so the benefits of the poultice is that joint pain and arthritis, gout, and other types of joint pain, it helps with all of that. It helps reduce inflammation and swelling, and it helps remove buildup of fluids, and it helps skin eliminate toxins. Now, how do we make this poultice. So here is oh, this is a foot here. For some reason my slides are not showing on the side. I don't know why, but this is a foot. And this is the poultice on the foot. How do we make a cabbage poultice? Well, we start by having a good old baler or rolling pin. Yeah, and you take it and you roll it out like that. Why are we rolling it out? Anybody knows? To flatten it, but the more important part is the juice, because cabbage has a really good enzyme that helps with pain. Now, if you, I mean, anybody can roll this out really well, but if you were to go fancy here, you could take a wheat tenderizer and bang it too, the lovely, or you could just roll it out like a roti, right? So let's pretend we're doing roti here. One thing here, so you get all the juices to come out of it. Right, thank you. All right, so, right, so it's well, nice and juiced there. We're gonna do another thing, right? Just in case we need another. So it's well squeezed here, and I'll raise it up so you can see what it's gonna look like. It's smushed, it's flat, this is flat cabbage, right? Right, so you can see juice has come out of it. This is the chopping board, you've seen it on there, right? So. My cabbage here, and we're going to do the poultice. Which foot? Left. Now you don't have to wrap this in anything. This goes straight onto the foot, right? Now let's say I have some fancy things here. I have bandage, I have adhesive bandage, but let's say you don't have none of that. So all you have is like an old cotton t-shirt. You strip that up and you could use that to wrap with, right? You use what you have. I just have fancy stuff here, but we don't need fancy stuff. What? This one? Which one? Only got something? Okay. So we wrap around the foot, all around here too. This is what I'm gonna wrap. Right. This is an adhesive bandage, which makes your life pretty easy. It sticks. I like to use this on my children. But if you don't have this, just use an old piece of cloth, whatever you have. An old piece of cloth will do the trick. Help mommy hold it on the mama. Put on your mic. Hold it. Oh, sorry. Hold the on the hold it. Right, hold it. Come on, is it in the spot? Yeah. Does that feel comfortable? Yeah, so we just want to leave this on, and probably at the end of the class, you're going to tell me if it feels any better. Yeah, so this, when you have pain, what people usually do, they make a cabbage poultice and they put it on and they say that the pain is relieved. So you'll tell me how it feels a little bit later, right? Okay, so you're gonna, so with this, you think you can stick it in your shoes? So you see, this is nice and discreet. If she was to go out somewhere, right? Nobody gonna know you have pain in your foot. Make the poultice, put it in your shoes and go out. Nobody gonna know that, right? How does that feel in your shoes? Right, it's comfortable, right? Nobody can know that, and she good to go. And you make your poultice, you put it on, and you go through your day. And let's see how the pain does. So that was one poultice, cabbage poultice, right? And now we're gonna do something that most people should know. I'm gonna ask. How many people know about, wait, hold on, let me go back to here. Oh, there's one thing I forgot. Um, Normally, when you put the cabbage poultice on, I didn't do that on her. Can I borrow you again? One more time? One more time? Thanks. There's something I forgot to do with her. You could do it like that, but ideally, you should do it like this. This is an expensive piece of equipment that you don't need. If you don't have, you don't need it. You can take it back out. So we made the poultice, we put it on. But in order to get a better result, if you apply heat to this, so this is an electric heating pad. I plug this on, and you set it underneath, right? So you just put your foot on the heat, right? And then I wrap this on her foot, and I apply heat to it. It would actually have a better effect with the heating pad, with heat, right? So you're doing it with heat. But if you're going down, now we're going to do this, right? I mean, yeah. And then you'll change your poultice like 2 hours. Yeah. So ideally, this is what you want to do. You want to apply some heat with it. But if you don't have this, you could use what people do. They use fermentation pads. How many of you know about fermentation pads? If you don't have a fermentation pad, you take one of your kitchen towels, right? And you put hot water on that, and then you squeeze it out. So it's nice and it's hot. It's steaming. Some people, what they do, they put water on it, and then they roll it up, and they put it in a bag in the microwave, and they heat it up. So it's hot. You're not putting that like directly on your skin. You're gonna let that cool down a little bit. But it's hot, it's warm, put it hot on your skin. You put it warm on your skin, and that will bring heat if you don't have a heating pad, right? That's the next way. If you don't have these things, you do with what you have, right? And that will give you the heat that you apply to that, right? And that's basically how you tell us to come back. Appreciate it. All right, so that was our cabbage poultice. But this is just a treatment, right? And the important thing is that we ascertain the cause, what's causing this. Because this is just temporary, this is to treat it, it's not going to cure it. So if we could get down to the root cause of what's causing it, then that would be more helpful. But at least this will give you temporary relief.
A question.
We have a question? Okay.
They asked if this cabbage poultice will be able to use for any pain such as menstruation pain.
I think it had menstruation on the list. Did it have? Which one had menstruation? They were all in this one. Well, is it, you mean on your stomach?
Yeah. That. Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't see why not. And I do know people who, the same heating pad that I have there, whenever they have menstrual pains, they put a heating pad on their tummies, and it really relieves the menstrual cramps. So that's something that you could use for menstrual cramps too. There's tea too. I like to drink orange peel tea. That's good to me with menstrual cramps. Yeah, so you just peel the orange and you make some tea with the orange peel. That can help you with menstrual cramps. right? And moving on to, who knows about activated charcoal? Is there anyone here who doesn't know about activated charcoal? Yeah, what do you know about activated charcoal?
What are we using for?
Hold it
Uh-huh.
and what? So what can it be?
Okay. What do you use activated charcoal for?
In poultices,
And what else?
in toothpaste.
Is there a story to tell about activated charcoal? What happened to your brother? Right. What happened to your brother?
So when they, huh?
Right.
One day my brother got a bite and we made a charcoal poultice and we put it on my brother and he got well.
Right. So you can use it for bites. Another thing that she didn't tell you for, what happens when you have a tummy ache? What happens?
You could use it.
That's right. You could use it. So there are benefits of activated charcoal. It's helpful at poisoning. It binds poison and neutralizes it. Do you know when you go in with a poison problem in the hospital, the first thing they give you is charcoal? Y'all know that, right? Yeah, because it's so good at binding poisons. That's the first thing that they give you. It's helpful for diarrhea because it does a good job of stopping that. If you take too much charcoal, you can get constipated. That's why it's good for diarrhea. It's good for intestinal gas, bowel inflammation, cough, sore throats. Some people, as soon as they start to feel sick, they drink some charcoal water. Some people every day they sick when they drink charcoal water. It's good for bug bites, poisonous spider or snake bites, and it's good for detox. So charcoal has many benefits. We're going to do a little experiment here. So, be on this side with the mic.
You get too close.
Yeah. So, don't feel that charcoal tastes bad and don't feel that. Look at this. I want you all to see this carefully, okay? The first thing you do to make charcoal water is usually like one cup of water to 1 tablespoon of charcoal, right? And you don't want to put the charcoal first and then because if you do that, I'll come on this side. Right. Because if you do that, then it's going to get all messy and make a whole mess of everything. So you measure your water. I'm going to do half because my cup is small. So I'm going to do half cup to half a spoon, right? Right, so I'm doing half a cup of water, right? Okay. Right, then this cup is small. And then I'm going to mix, right? And we split it up. You see, it didn't make too much mess because I put the water first. If you had put the charcoal first, it would just like pitch up with water and make a whole sort of mess. And we don't want that. Because this thing stains, okay? Especially if you're wearing white clothes. You don't want to do that. Yeah. So, do we have any little volunteers who would like to try it? Here, let me have. Yeah, you're gonna try to do not leak on your clothes. Don't leak it on your clothes, it will stain, okay? It's going to stain. Anybody want to try this? Yes, let me see my little volunteer. Can you come down for me, please? I'm just gonna get you a little bit. Right, and turn around so mommy and daddy can see your face. See your face. You see, he drinks it. Good.
Okay.
How is it? How is it? Is that it? No, right. Just because it's black doesn't mean it have a taste. Drink it. Good. Turn around, let mommy and daddy see. You want yours too? Okay.
Let's see. Is there a particular ingredient that I'm thinking to jump over?
Something I forgot to mention. Charcoal is not barbecue, okay? We need to know this. It is not barbecue. It is not eating when you burn bush in the back of the house that you take. This is activated charcoal. That does not say that you can't make your own. You could make charcoal. People make charcoal with bamboo. There's a way to make it, but this is not your barbecue stuff that you're taking off of your pit and you're crushing up and drinking here. This is I bought this at a store. This is activated charcoal, okay? It's activated. This says it's food grade. If you're gonna be drinking it, you should drink food grade, okay? Because it's going into your body. And it's made, sometimes they make it with sometimes they make it with coconut, sometimes they make it with different sort of things that they burn, bamboo. So, not sure what this one is made of, but it's food grade, okay? Please do not go and take your barbecue to make this. Would anybody like the rest of it? Anybody else? Okay, all right, we don't want to make it. Right here. So, when your children say, Mommy, I have a tummy ache, this is a really good thing to go to. And you see, not one of them said it tastes bad. It's just us grown-ups, you know. It's us grown-ups. These children drink it like normal, yeah. They drink it like normal.
Like we drink it.
I'm just now, that was charcoal water, right? What else you can do with charcoal? We talked about, let's not get this bit, we can do a charcoal poultice, right? How do we do a charcoal poultice? Yeah. Yeah, you might want to just clean up your mouth and think it might have some remnants there of charcoal. So we're gonna make a charcoal poultice. I remember how fascinated I was when I learned how to make a poultice. How many of y'all know how to make a charcoal poultice? All of us today will be able to raise our hand when we're done and consider that a great success. So, charcoal poultice. This is activated charcoal. And this I bought at the grocery store. This is flaxseed grounded. You don't have to have ground flaxseed, you can have your normal flaxseed and just blend it up. But I bought this in the store to show you. It does exist in Trinidad, it's here. So, how do we make this poultice? We're gonna take, this is a 1-to-1 ratio, okay? How much of this you take? It's the same amount of this you take, right? So Kira is going to take 1 spoon of each and place it into this bowl. Go ahead. Right. And then we're going to throw just enough water to make it kind of like jam consistency, right? So, and we're going to mix. All right, let's mix. Slower. Right, we're going to do this. Right. Don't touch it. Right. Right, so we have a nice consistency going on here. Alright, so I'm gonna show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is it here. This is our charcoal and our flax with water, right? Now, the simplest way to make this poultice. Okay, I have fancy things here. I have paper towel, but let's say you have no paper towel. If you have an old t-shirt, you can use it, but just know you want to use something that will be okay to stain, because it will stain. Okay, it's going to stain, there's no doubt about that. So if I'm gonna do it two ways to show you, okay? And there's a reason why I want to show you it two ways. I'm gonna divide it in half because I want to use some a different way. So let's say my child, you pull this one. Let's say my child just got stung. Caleb had gotten stung by a spider, right? I just put it in the paper towel. And I kind of flatten it down a little bit. Can you see that? It's nice and flat. I fold it over. Fold it over again. And where he got some, does anybody want to volunteer?
Mommy, I got it on the stuff. Poppy had to do this.
Yeah. Anybody want to volunteer? Get the little children? You want to volunteer? Come. So, you want to pretend you have a bite somewhere? Where you have a bite? On your hand? Where on your hand? That's a good spot. Where is that on your head? Do what I did. I've been a bit high. So he said he got a bite here. So if he got a bite here, I'm going to just take this and fold this onto his hand. And I could use the same adhesive tape, but then it'll get all stained up. But I have something called skin tape that I brought as well, which is fancy stuff. If you don't have skin tape, your mother, who doesn't have masking tape, right? Everybody has skin tape. You take your masking tape and you tape it down. Right? Right, you tape that down. There. Now, because we've done this with a paper towel, it can leak through. And it can make a mess in your house, right? And we don't want that. But if that's all we have, that's what we have. So what we could do to make sure it doesn't make mess is take cling wrap. So after we're done, we take our cling wrap. Because this is something you have in your house too, right? We all have cling wrap, we all have tape, we all have something like paper towel or napkin. Right? So let me see it. I wrap him up. I wrap him up good. So now he can go and play and not dirty up the house. Not dirty your couch and who knows what else he can do, right? And you don't have to feel like, oh no, he's gonna dirty my whole house. So this is one way that you can do it, right? No, thank you. You want to keep it on for a little bit, go to mom. And next way we can do this, which is super clean. This is my favorite way to do this. You all know what this is? I'll open it up.
PP pads.
This is called an incontinence pad. You've seen it before?
Yeah.
This is fancy like dog crane and stuff, or like when you PP pads. When you have accidents. Or when your children are doing potty training, whatever reasons they use it for. I keep these for poultices because they're really awesome. When I learned how to do this the first time, don't have a scissors. So listen, you use what you have and you improvise, okay? So I don't have a scissors, I have a knife. So you use what you have. So let's say the child just get bites. So you're cutting it down to size, right? So I'm just gonna cut my pad. If I had a scissors, it would have been cut a little bit cleaner. but I don't have a scissors here right now. So I'm just gonna cut this down to I think, right? Right, that is our section that we cut off. And the good thing about it is because two sides are sealed, I just have to mess with the other two sides. So I open this up. When you open it up, some of them open clean and some of them don't. Oh, this one opened clean. Look at that. Look at that. You see that? Nice and clean. So all I do from here is take my poultice that I just made, put it on the top there, close it back. You see that? It's over here. See that? And then what I like to do is bend it over and seal it with my tape. But this, remember, this is charcoal, like it will make a mess. So I'm just gonna secure myself from the instrument. And this is what I need to run from here. I'm gonna secure it down with my tape, and I'm gonna pull all fours, right? To make sure nothing leak anywhere. Okay. So this is messy stuff, and charcoal for this is messy stuff. So do I have another volunteer who would like to help me? Can I borrow this one, because oh, don't worry, we have plenty more things to volunteer for. Don't worry. Okay, you can come, you can come. All right, so look at this. This is another way to have it inside here. But you see, you don't have to have fancy stuff, but I'm just giving you options. I had like when I learned this, because when there was a time I got a tick bite right here on the side, but the whole world don't need to know I have a tick bite. So I make my poultice, I put it under my clothes, and I use skin tape to stick it to my body. And I was able to go to church and think, nobody know I have a bite, you know, so nobody needs to know you have a bite or things like that. You make your poultices, and it's under your clothes and it's secure. You're not going to stain you up, because in this, in his, it might stain you. In this one, it's more secure. And skin tape is a good thing to have if you can get it. Do we have skin tape here? Yes? Huh? Medical tape, we have medical tape. Right. So that's yours. When I do it with the medical tape, I go all the way around to give it extra backing to make sure you get no leaks. So that's where you have your bite, right? You have a bite. Feeling okay? Yeah, it's not too bad, right? Great. So you see, I'm kind of going all the way around to this just to make sure we don't want no leaks. Ooh. How's that feel? Good. Oh, sure. Good, good. Right, so that was charcoal poultice, right?
Because of this, you don't need the clink.
This one won't leak out. Less like, but that's paper towel. The one we did, this one we did? Yeah, that's a leak. I see my hands are all dirty. Now charcoal is pretty messy stuff. Now we're gonna move on to y'all okay? How about y'all stand up? Let's take a little break here. Let's do a little stretching. Have to make sure y'all paying attention to this. Y'all have to go much guided. All right, let's stretch up. Let's feel it. Let's touch our toes.
You can.
Right. Right.
So,
Let's do a spin this way. There's a stretch called the coconut stretch, but I don't know how to do all the letters. Bring it back. And then jump into it again. All right. And then wiggle your fingers. All right. You all ready to go again? All right. And now it's made on in the onions. Food like onions. My children love onions. I thought that was such a strange thing, but they love onions. So, onion. What do onions contain? They have high levels of vitamin C, folate, potassium, hold up the onion, Mama. Potassium, phosphorus, magnesium, and calcium, and they're high in antioxidant called quercetin. Now, what is that? What's it used for? Its quercetin has been shown to protect against many different types of cancer, boost the immune response, and help with cataracts. Quercetin is found to improve heart health, prevent heart disease, and keep blood flowing freely. And right now, you see, I have a little bit of a cough, right? I got sick this week, and when we get sick, onions are friends. They work like an expectorant. You know, when you get sick and you have something stuck in your throat and you just don't want to go away, it's annoying. It helps to cut that phlegm. And they help break up mucus and congestion in the chest and reduce spasmodic cough. Onions work best for chest pulses if they're heated with to break up chest congestion and soothe a spastic cough. You can apply poultice externally or take an onion syrup or tincture internally. And guess what? If you do it both external and internal, you might get more benefits, right? So you could also, just the way we did a cabbage poultice, a charcoal poultice, you could do an onion poultice too. So the benefits of the poultices, onion and poultices, is it helps with respiratory infections, cough, tightness of chest, pneumonia, bronchitis. If you have difficulty breathing, help with asthma, beneficial for inflammation. People even use it on burns and ear aches. When babies have ear infection, people use it. And it's incredible. I remember here I was little and I didn't know what to do. And then you go to the doctor and they give you one set of antibiotic and you take all of this. If I had known what I know now, I would have never done that. But now that we know knowledge is power, we can take that through and use that with our children. If you try to have an ear infection, you just use an onion. And it will solve the problem. You don't need antibiotics for that. Well, I wouldn't use it, that's your choice. So how to make the poultice? This is really interesting. People say steam an onion, like what? How do you steam an onion? Do you all know how to steam an onion? So first thing you do, slice up 2 onions, and then you steam it. I borrowed a steaming basket. Do you know what this is? This is a steamer basket. Open it like this, and it fits into your pot. So whatever size pot you have, you put it inside your pot here. So let's pretend this is our pot right here. In the pot, I have some water in my pot, and I put my 2 onions that I sliced up inside here, right? Pretend this is my sliced up onion, 2 onions. So it's in my pot, and then I cover my pot for like 8 to 10 minutes, and I let it steam. So that's the steaming process. Then when it's finished steaming, you take it off and your pot is dry, and then you put it in a clean towel, and then this is how you make your poultice. It's in the towel as is, right? And how do we use it? It could be applied to your chest, here it comes. Let's see. You can apply it to your chest like this. You see this little child? When they wrap it up inside it, you know what it was really good for this? Brown cotton. When you go to the store and you buy brown cotton, buy your feed, you take your brown cotton, you put your onion inside there. You take a rubber band, tie it up, and on a little child, you put it on his chest. And that will help with chest cold. That the onion put it on the chest, not for a bigger person, you just need a bigger piece, right? Probably flatter here. And so it can help with chest and neck area here with coughing. For babies, you apply raw sliced onion to the meat and then place a stuff over it, keep it in place. This one, have you all ever tried it? When your children have fever, the first thing I go to when my children have fever is this. I slice up onion and put it in their tongue. The next day they smell like onion, but it works. So this is what we do, put onions in our socks. And for air aid, it says apply raw onion in a cloth to the air and keep it in place with a headband or wool cotton. So like if Kire had an ear infection, I could steam an onion, put it in something like this, put it to her ear here, and then if I had like a beanie, I could put a beanie over her head that covers the ear to keep it in place. Or if I had a scarf, like tie it around here to keep it in place, and just let her lay with it for a little bit, and the juices will drip in. Another way people have done it for ear infections is when you steam it, that liquid that is let out, you take a little syringe or a dropper, and you stuck that up, and like your baby, you drop some of that in the air. And that's it, it goes away. Because it's simple procedure. But it works. How many of you all knew that thing about the ear infection? How many of you? That's good. I did not know that. And that I wish I had known that when my children were babies like that. And do you all know about onion syrup? That's our favorite. Let's make our onion syrup. No, we made it. So to make onion syrup, it says, I'm going to read it there. We're just going to do it, okay? So you want to have a nice container, preferably a glass container to put it in. You're going to cut up an onion. You want to cut it and remove the skin, right? I'm taking off the skin. Preferably wash it before you start. I'm gonna chop it up now. I'm just chopping up my onion. That's normal chop, or you chop your onion. You like onion juice, don't you? Yeah. So you cut up your onion, you put it in your container like that. And then you put enough honey to just cover it a little bit. You could chop it up smaller than that too. It's not ready. So you just pour honey on top of it. And what happens when you make this, after a few hours, you will see juice come out of it. This nice thick solution of honey will no longer be thick because juice would have released from onions. You wouldn't think that onions have so much juice, but they do. They do have a lot of juice. So you just cover it, mix it in well. Some people stay away 24 hours. And some people like me, if my children really sick, I really wait 24 hours, I wait like an hour, 2 hours, and start releasing. I give the juice to them.
Mhm.
And this thing will keep releasing juice. You can leave. It wouldn't be as thick, it will be watery. But once this has stayed in your fridge for a week, you want to take the onions out of it. And the juice can stay in your fridge. It is nice and cool in there for up to about 6 months. So it lasts for a while. You can have it pre-prepared for when you get sick. So I always have this in my fridge. Another thing I always have is lemon and honey in my fridge for when we get sick. Huh? 1 week. You don't want to go past a week because the onion will make it. The onion will make it spoil. So you want to take the onion out. So that's it. That's just how you make it. Says here let it sit for 12 hours. If it's really thick and you need to have it, feel free to take it in 2 hours. Okay? Feel free to don't have it that is just honey. Honey is a good expectorant anyway. And place it in a jar and you give them 1 to 2 teaspoons to help with cough. This will grow up too. I make it for myself. Since we've come to Trinidad, my niece got sick, my children got sick, and I got sick. We've all been taking it. And now, so that was good there for when you get sick. We're going to do another one for when you get sick. And this is called the super flu bomb. There's another one that people know too that I was going to make, which is nature's penicillin. But I realized it's hard to get grapefruits and oranges at this time of year. So if you can't get grapefruits and oranges, make the super flu bomb because this stuff was easy to get in the grocery store this week. So the ingredients for the super flu bomb is, sorry, there's a typo here, give me. But is turmeric, you need 6 inches, ginger 6 inches, garlic 10 cloves, onion 2 medium onions, lemon 6 to 8 tablespoons, fresh lemon juice, honey 5 tablespoons, and cayenne pepper and water. And what is this? What is this going to do? It's good for colds, for flu, for sore throat, infection, and respiratory symptoms. But the ingredients that I follow there. Don't most of you all have turmeric? I say turmeric, but in Trinidad, how we call that? Saffron, right? Everybody has saffron in their house, everybody can make curry, right? So everybody has saffron. So turmeric or saffron, what's that good for? It increases your antioxidant capacity, it helps delay aging, natural inflammatory, can lower risk of heart disease. It benefits against depression and improves brain function. And ginger. Did you know that ginger is an anti-inflammatory? Did you know you could make a ginger poultice too? You can, but ginger bullet. So you don't want to put it in places that sensitive to make that bullet. The one before? Oh, yeah. Okay. Anybody want to take a picture of this? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ronnie, oh.
If I had to choose between powder and raw, I go raw. That's not processed, it is natural state. I always go raw. Yeah. But if you don't have a choice, feel free to use the powder. Feel free to do that because it has a if you don't have the option. You know, sometimes where you live, like where I live, it's hard to find raw turmeric, but I can get powder easily. So you know, it depends on where you live and what's acceptable to you. So right, we did turmeric. Right, ginger being an anti-inflammatory, it boosts your immune system, it helps fight respiratory infection, it improves the brain performance, improves blood circulation. So there have been people who said they had like pains in different areas of their body and they didn't have. The same way we made poultices here, they made ginger poultices and they put it on the areas with pain and it really helps. Pain and swelling, because it's an anti-inflammatory, if an area swell, feel free to make a ginger poultice, put it on that to help with the swelling. Garlic. Garlic supports the immune system and is packed with antioxidants. Onion. And onions contain, we did onions before, antioxidants and compounds that fight inflammation. It decreases triglycerides and reduces cholesterol levels, all of which may lower heart disease risk. Their potent inflammatory properties may also help reduce high blood pressure and protect against blood clots. And then lemon. Lemon has its own properties. The soluble dietary fiber in lemon aids in healthy digestion. Lemon contains about 21 grams of vitamin C, which is nearly double the amount of vitamin C needed in daily diet. Along with boosted immunity, this list of vitamin C can reduce your risk of stroke and heart disease with regular consumption. So even though if you're sick, you're making this because you're sick, it helps all of us, right? Oops. So what I did, I'm not gonna make it, but what I did, I already made it. So, here. This is it. Who would like to try? And this is not just for children, this is for grown-ups too. I might see some grown-ups trying. Who would like to try? All right, so let's try it. The dosage, I think is 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons every I think it's every hour or 2 hours, it's 24 hours. But I mean, it's just ginger and garlic and, you know. Yeah. Who would like to try some? Grown up and little children. So how was it? Is it bad? Is it good? You come down. Wait, keep working. But it wasn't too bad, right? Oh. Stop it. Okay, so, huh?
How long does it take?
And then,
For how long? For how long?
maybe because of the garlic and stuff.
See? Our brother here said he made his and he kept it for a whole month in the fridge. So it lasts a while. You know, you don't have to throw it away after a week, it is still good. So now we move it on to another something here. Okay, I only have 2 more minutes. Okay, so, we're moving on to aloe vera.
Sorry, but any C in the onion, because it's not in bioflavonoids, like, yes, it's also.
I don't know.
What?
Does vitamin C in onion contain bioflavonoids?
Yeah, flavonoid just means, something that has antioxidant effect that come from a living organism. So it has.
Yeah.
Most of them usually have some colors in it, so it comes more from colors. Why? Yes. Right, it has to activate it and work better.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so aloe vera. Everybody should know what aloes. My grandma used to blend up and drink aloes back in the day, but I didn't know why. Okay. So, aloe vera is an antioxidant and it's antibacterial. It has antibacterial properties. It contains healthy plant compounds. It accelerates wound healing. It helps treat canker sores. It improves skin and prevents wrinkles. Drinking internally has been beneficial for cancer. It also reduces constipation. It reduces dental plaque and lower blood sugar levels. I want to show you this picture here. This was a young boy. He was about maybe 14. He was frying something at home. This is real. This is real. I actually don't equate it. He was frying something and he burnt his hand. This is a 2nd-degree burn. See how bad it is? Yeah, he burned himself real bad. And when he burned himself, he went for treatment at one of the doctors at a sanitarium here. And this, huh? No, in the United States. He went, we go to the Eugene Pines situation. So he went to the Eugene Pines sanitarium and he went for treatment. But what did they use on him? What did they use on him? They use aloe. And they say here dress it. How do you think they dress this?
Probably.
My daughter just told me, Mommy, this is bad. Is this bad? No, we just cut off the end, right? Yeah, it's just the end from here oxidized. So we cut off the end there. We don't even need to cut off the end because let's say my son, one day he burned himself really bad and I tried this and it really does work. So, you know, you just cut the aloe in half like this, right? So we slide it down in half here. We open it up like this. If you want, you can cut off the spiky bits from the side because it's got some spiky bits. Right. So for a cut like that, can I have a volunteer? Somebody want to come? Oh, great. Oh, no, great today. Oh, she was there because Hananiah was next. She had raised her hand and nobody had taken her. Come, Hananiah. It's a pretty big feat. We're going to pretend you have a bird there, Hananiah. Come, Hananiah. You sit right here. You sit right here, right? Let's pretend you got that bird on your hand, right? We're going to pretend that. So you cut it down to size. It's pretty tiny. Right? I'm cutting it down to size, right? So your hands are really small. Let's pretend. Over here, she gets good, right? Let's pretend she got that back good. We put it here, straight on her, right? It's slimy, right? How does it feel? Feel okay? It feel right? Okay, no, I need you to help people. Put it. Put your hold it in place, right? It's slimy, it moves, right? It moves. So I'm just gonna put this adhesive tape on it here to keep it in place. This thing is really awesome. I love having this with children because my son doing himself on his head, on his hand, and I just use this and wrap it anywhere. All right. So now, Hananiah, he had the bird, and I put it on the bird's butt and I wrapped it in place. So he had this poultice on. Here, stay right here, right? So he dressed it, right? And he keep doing this process, right? Changing it out. You know, when you have to change out, when you have a wound and you have to change out, your stitches, what's it change out your dressing, right? That's a good dressing, right? It's the same thing with your aloe there, right? And this boy, this was it at the beginning. This was it after 3 months.
Wow.
Just he simply uses aloe, and I tried it on my son before, and it worked the same way. Aloe is one thing everybody should have in their house. Aloe, must have aloe because it's so useful. It really is useful. So this was aloe, how aloe works. Thank you, and thank you for showing me what you did. Good job. And
Nice.
let me just check to get you. I think we've gone over. I was supposed to stop at 3:45. It's 3:45 now. There was one more thing I was going to do, so I'll just skip through it quickly. We won't do it. I'll just mention it. It's called the ice massage. I froze my ice, but we won't do it. I'll just describe it for you. You see this? This is a Styrotex cup.
Oh.
This is water in the Styrotex cup. And then I take a knife and I kind of cut off this piece of the Styrotex cup. So that when you hold it here, your hand not freezing, it's still in the cup, and you massage it. So let's say I had an area that's it. Let's say, you know, people get pain right here. Right. So I take this ice and I massage for like 10 minutes. 10 minutes over and over and over. Oh, I do have my, oh, but my ice has melted. Cool up. So, you know, you take it and you massage for like 10 minutes, wherever it's hurting you. And people say that this ice massage is amazing. It says it helps with pain relief, it reduces swelling, improves circulation, reduces stress, at cold temperatures of ice, it helps constrict blood vessels, reduces swelling and inflammation. So there have been people who have consistently done this. There have been people, I've heard stories of people who had these pains for like years, and it wouldn't go away. And then they started doing these ice massages. And then after they started doing the ice massage, the pain just went away. There was one lady who said her mommy was complaining about a pain in her tummy. And she had heard about this ice massage, and she was like, I better just try it. And then when she was there, she was like, what kind of magic is this? Because it really works. So is this ice, does that cost you anything?
No.
You just need to have your fridge, your freezer, some water, a Styrotex cup, and you're good to go. So I encourage you to give all of these a try. You know, it's really worth doing, and it's really worth giving a try. So I hope that this class has been a blessing to you all. And we're gonna pray now. I just want to pray so that you all keep encouraged and try this with your families. And then feel free to check on Dr. Remedies books over the corner there, right? So let's pray, everybody. Just close your eyes. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for giving us the opportunity to teach our Natural Remedies class here today, Lord. We pray and ask, Lord, that you please let these lessons be sunk into the minds that are here and give them the courage to actually go home and try these remedies a few times so that they become confident that they're better able to take care of their families without having to rely on external help, that they know that they can totally handle things. And give them the courage to do that, Lord. In Jesus' name we pray, amen. One more thing before, there's a book called The Natural Remedies Encyclopedia. That is such an awesome book. If you have any kind of ailment, you go and you look that up inside the book and it tells you exactly what to do. So that's a good starting point. That's a really starting point. If you're now looking into natural remedies and you don't really know much, that's a really good book to start. Okay. Thanks for your attention.
15 minutes break.
All right, we are on break now, 15 minutes.